The morning sky over Seoul burned red like fire as the alien ships came down from space like falling stars. Captain Kim Tae stood in his underground command room watching plasma beams cut through the city buildings. In just a few hours, everything humans had built for hundreds of years turned into burning ruins. "Sir, we lost all contact with other countries," said Lieutenant Park Swa. Her voice shook as she spoke. The computer screens around them showed only static noise as every big city on Earth went silent one by one. The aliens had weapons and technology far beyond what humans could make. Their energy shields soaked up nuclear bombs like water drops hitting a wall. Their soldiers moved like robots with perfect timing, as if they all shared one big brain. In just 3 days, every government on Earth was destroyed. Then the aliens started counting and sorting all the humans like they were things to be stored. Tae found himself pushed into a big building with thousands of other people who had survived. The aliens were tall and looked like they were made of crystal with many eyes. They separated humans into groups based on how strong they were and how smart they seemed. People who could work hard got bright glowing tags stuck on their arms. Then they were put on big ships and sent to mining places all over the world. When Tae was being loaded onto a transport ship with other former soldiers, he saw Dr. Lee Mina in the crowd. She was a scientist who studied aliens, and he had seen her on TV news before the invasion. She looked at him and gave a tiny nod that the guards could not see. It was like a secret message that said not all hope was gone. The transport ship was dark and crowded. Humans sat pressed together on metal benches while alien guards watched them with their many eyes. Tae could hear people crying softly and others whispering prayers in different languages. The ship shook as it lifted off from Earth and headed toward one of the mining stations. Through a small window, Tae saw Earth getting smaller below them. The blue and green planet that had been humanity's home for thousands of years now had gray, smoke rising from burning cities. Red alien ships floated in the sky like angry clouds. It looked like the end of everything, but as Tae watched his dying planet, he remembered something his grandfather had told him about the old wars. "The enemy can take your land, your house, even your body," the old man had said, "but they cannot take what lives inside your heart unless you let them." The mining station was a huge metal structure floating in space near an asteroid field. When the transport ship docked, alien guards herded the humans into long gray corridors. The air smelled like metal and chemicals. Strange lights hurt their eyes and the gravity felt wrong, making everyone stumble as they walked. Tae was assigned to deep mining duty in the asteroid tunnels. The work was hard and dangerous. Humans used heavy tools to dig out rare metals that the aliens needed for their ships and weapons. The alien guards never spoke to the human workers. They just pointed with their long crystal fingers to show what needed to be done. Every day was the same. Wake up in the crowded sleeping rooms. Eat the gray paste that the aliens gave them for food. Work for 12 hours in the dark tunnels. Sleep, wake up and do it all again. Many humans became like robots themselves. Their eyes empty and their movements slow, but not all of them gave up. Late at night when the guards thought everyone was sleeping, some humans would whisper to each other. They shared stories about their families back on Earth. They talked about the foods they missed and the places they wanted to see again. These quiet conversations kept something alive inside them that the aliens could not touch. Dr. Lee Mina worked in a different part of the station where the aliens did their science experiments. Sometimes Tae would see her in the food area. She never spoke to him directly, but she would leave small pieces of paper with drawings on them. The drawings looked like random marks, but Tae realized they were actually maps of the station and notes about alien technology. One night, Tae found a longer message hidden in his sleeping area. Dr. Mina had written that she was studying the aliens and learning about their weaknesses. She said that aliens thought like one big mind instead of many separate minds like humans did. This made them very good at working together, but it also made them weak in ways they did not understand. The message ended with words that made Tae's heart beat faster. "They took our planet, but they cannot take who we are. Get ready. The time will come when we show them what human spirit really means." As Tae lay in his narrow bed that night, he looked up at the small window that showed the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, still turning, still waiting. The aliens had won the first battle, but the war was not over. They had made one big mistake when they decided to keep humans alive as workers instead of destroying them completely. They thought breaking human cities would break human hearts. But they were about to learn that the strongest thing about humans was not their buildings or their weapons. It was something much harder to destroy. 6 months had passed since the aliens took over Earth. The whole world had become one giant mining place. Choi Haeon used to write computer programs in the city of Busan, but now he spent 14 hours every day digging strange metals from deep holes in the ground. The aliens had put special machines everywhere that sent invisible waves into human brains. These waves made most people feel sleepy and quiet, like they were walking in a dream. They did not fight back or ask questions, they just worked like robots every day. But Haeon was different. Since he was a child, he could feel things in the air that other people could not feel. Electric signals from phones and computers always gave him headaches. Now those same feelings helped him notice something important. During his short rest times, when other workers just sat quietly with empty eyes, Hyun paid attention to the buzzing in his head. The alien brain control waves had a pattern, like a radio station that played the same song over and over. If someone could make the right kind of noise, maybe they could stop the song. Hyun started looking for old electronic parts that the aliens had thrown away. Computer chips, radio pieces, broken phones. He collected them all during his work shifts. The alien guards never watched him carefully because they thought he was just another sleepy human worker. In the old maintenance tunnels under the mining facility, where the aliens never went, Haeon built his secret project. Using wires and circuits, he made a small device that could create its own electronic waves. It was ugly and simple, but when he turned it on, the buzzing in his head stopped. For the first time in months, his mind felt clear and awake. Far away, in what used to be Busan's underground shopping center, Jung Hae was building something different. She had been a Marine soldier before the invasion, and she knew how to fight and hide. The shopping center was now just broken stores and empty hallways, but it was also a perfect place for secret meetings. Jung Hae found other people who were hiding from the aliens. Some were scared families with children. Others were workers who had escaped from mining sites. She taught them how to move without making noise and how to talk with their hands instead of their voices. She showed them safe places to hide and how to find food in the ruins. The group grew slowly. They left secret messages for each other using drawings on walls that looked like random marks but really meant things like safe house here or aliens patrol this area. Word spread through whispers and careful signals. More people joined, but they all stayed in small groups so the aliens would not notice. The most important discovery came from Dr. Lee Minna. She was now working in an alien research center where they studied human bodies and brains. The aliens thought she was just a smart worker, but she was actually learning about their technology and how their minds worked. Dr. Minna found out something amazing. The aliens did not think like humans at all. Humans had millions of different thoughts and ideas, but the aliens all shared one big mind. They were like fingers on a hand, separate but controlled by the same brain. This made them very good at working together, but it also made them weak. When humans did something unexpected or creative, the aliens got confused. They could not understand why someone would do something that was not logical or planned. It was like they had never learned how to be surprised. Dr. Minna wrote down everything she learned on small pieces of paper. She hid these papers in places where other humans would find them, inside food packages, taped under tables, folded into clothing. The information spread slowly through the secret network that Jung Hae was building. One paper reached Choi Hoon in his mining tunnels. It explained how the alien brain control worked and gave him ideas for making his jamming device better. Another paper told Jung Hae about weak points in alien technology that her fighters could attack. That's the weather got colder and winter came. The different resistance groups started working together. Hyun's electronic devices helped more people wake up from the alien brain control. Jung Hae's fighters learned to move between different cities through old subway tunnels and sewers. Dr. Minna kept sending them information about alien plans and weaknesses. The aliens still thought humans were just simple animals that were good for digging metals. They did not notice that some humans were becoming harder to control. They did not see the secret messages or the careful planning. They were too busy thinking with their one big shared mind to understand that millions of small human minds were starting to work together. In the dark tunnels and ruined buildings, something was growing. It was not big or strong yet, but it was alive and getting stronger every day. The humans had learned to think like shadows, moving through the cracks of the alien empire without being seen. The aliens had taken the surface of Earth, but they had not found the underground. And in that hidden world, the human spirit was learning to fight back in ways the aliens would never expect. Winter was coming, but so was something else. The resistance was ready to begin. The first real attack against the aliens came from someone nobody expected. Yoon Soo was only 18 years old, and very small. Before the invasion, he spent all his time playing computer games in his room. The aliens thought he was too weak and stupid to be dangerous, so they gave him easy jobs like cleaning floors and fixing broken things. Sue worked in a big alien building where they controlled their communication systems, while he swept floors and emptied trash. He watched the alien technicians work on their computers. The aliens never paid attention to him because they thought humans were just animals. They did not know that Sue had been hacking computer systems since he was 12 years old. During his lunch breaks, Sue studied the alien computers. He noticed that they worked very differently from human computers. Human technology was messy and complicated because different people made different parts, but alien technology was perfect and organized because their whole species thought the same way. This gave Sue an idea. He started collecting old gaming equipment that had been thrown away, controllers, processors, and memory cards from video games. Working at night in an empty storage room, he built a strange device that mixed human gaming technology with alien communication systems. The aliens' communication network was like a perfect orchestra where every musician played exactly the right note at the right time, but Sue's device was like a jazz musician who played whatever he felt like playing. It did not follow rules or patterns. It was creative and unpredictable. One night, Sue connected his device to the alien communication hub. His heart was beating fast as he typed in a simple message: "Humans don't surrender." Then he pressed the button to send it. For exactly 43 seconds, Sue's message went out on every alien communication channel. Every alien ship, every alien commander, every alien computer received the same 4 words over and over again. The message was not important because of what it said. It was important because of how it said it. The alien collective mind had never experienced anything like this. They were used to receiving information that was organized and logical. But Sue's message was random and emotional. It was like putting a rock in a perfect machine. Everything stopped working properly. Alien commanders started getting confused. Ships began flying in wrong directions. Computer systems crashed as they tried to process the illogical human message. For those 43 seconds, the most powerful empire in the galaxy was paralyzed by 4 simple words from a teenager. With gaming equipment, Dr. Lee Minna was in her research lab when she saw the alien computers going crazy. She realized immediately what had happened. Through her secret radio, she contacted the resistance groups hiding all over the world. "This is it," she whispered into her hidden transmitter. "We found their weakness. They cannot understand us because they think like one big mind, but we think like 7 billion different minds. Every human thinks in their own way, and that makes us completely unpredictable to them." The message spread quickly through the underground network. In Seoul, Captain Kim Tae gathered his military fighters in an old subway tunnel. In Busan, Jung Hae met with her civilian resistance groups. In mining stations around the world, Choi Hyen's jamming devices woke up more humans from the alien brain control. Sue showed us something important. Tae told his fighters, "The aliens expect us to be logical and organized like them, but we are not. We are chaos, and chaos is our strength." Tae started planning something he called Operation Wildfire. It would not be one big attack that the aliens could predict and stop. Instead, it would be thousands of small attacks happening at the same time all over the world. Each attack would be different and strange, impossible for the alien collective mind to understand or counter. The plan was beautiful in its confusion. Some groups would attack with weapons, others would use computer viruses. Some would destroy alien equipment while others would just paint silly messages on alien buildings. Every attack would be as different as the humans who planned it. Jung Hae loved the idea. "We will be like bees," she told her people. "One bee cannot hurt a big animal, but 1,000 bees attacking at once can bring down anything." In his storage room, Sue continued building more communication devices. He taught other young people how to hack alien systems using human creativity instead of alien logic. They learned to think like artists instead of engineers, creating digital chaos that the aliens could not understand. The resistance groups started practicing their attacks. They learned to coordinate without being too organized. They made plans that could change at any moment. They prepared for a battle that would be fought not with superior weapons, but with the one thing humans had that aliens did not: the ability to be completely unpredictable. Word spread through secret messages and hidden radios. The spark that young Sue had created with his 43-second message was growing into something much bigger. Across the Earth, in tunnels and ruins and hidden places, humans were preparing for the most chaotic military operation in history. The aliens still thought they were in control. They had no idea that their greatest strength, thinking as one unified mind, was about to become their greatest weakness. The human spirit, wild and unpredictable and impossible to control, was about to show them what real power looked like. The spark had become a flame, and soon it would become an inferno. Operation Wildfire started at exactly 3:17 in the morning, Korean time. The resistance leaders did not pick this time because it was smart for military reasons. They picked it because no logical mind would ever expect an attack at such a strange, random time. This was the first sign that this battle would be different from any battle ever fought before. All around the world, on 6 different continents, human resistance groups attacked at the same moment, but each group fought in completely different ways. There was no master plan that made sense. There was no organized strategy. There was only beautiful, powerful chaos. And Seoul. Kim Soo had been studying the aliens' floating command platforms. For months before the invasion, he designed spacecraft for the Korean space program. Now he used his engineering knowledge to turn the aliens' own technology against them. He found a way to hack into their gravity control systems and made their command ships spin like tops in the air. The alien commanders inside the spinning platforms could not control their ships or give orders to their troops. They spun faster and faster until many of them crashed into buildings or each other. Kim Soo watched from a rooftop and laughed as the most advanced ships in the galaxy became dangerous carnival rides. In Busan, Jung-hae led her fighters using the strangest military tactics anyone had ever seen. Instead of radio communications that the aliens could intercept, her teams used mirrors to flash sunlight signals to each other. When it was cloudy, they made smoke patterns like ancient Native Americans. When they needed to coordinate attacks, they sang children's playground songs, with each verse meaning a different battle command. The aliens' computers tried to decode these communication methods, but how could a logical machine understand that ring around the rosy meant attack the North Gate, while London Bridge is falling down meant retreat to position 2? The songs had no logical connection to military strategy. They worked only because humans could remember arbitrary connections that made no sense to anyone else. Meanwhile, all over the world, the aliens found themselves fighting an enemy that seemed to be insane. In New York, resistance fighters attacked, using bicycles and fireworks. In Tokyo, they turned shopping mall escalators into weapon delivery systems. In Cairo, they used trained pigeons to carry small bombs to alien communication towers. Each attack was different and strange. The aliens' collective mind, which could predict the behavior of logical enemies, had no idea how to respond. Every time they figured out one human tactic and developed a counter-strategy, the humans would completely change to something else in the middle of the same battle. Choi Hyan's electronic jamming devices were now being built in secret workshops all over the world. Teenagers who had learned electronics from video games were making hundreds of the devices using parts from old phones, computers, and toys. When they turned on these jammers, they created areas of neural noise that disrupted the aliens' shared mind connection. Without their collective consciousness working properly, individual aliens started making their own decisions for the first time in their species' history. This was a disaster for them. Some aliens would decide to attack while others decided to retreat. Some would turn left while others turned right. Their perfect coordination collapsed into confusion and chaos. In Australia, alien ground troops received 3 different contradictory orders at the same time and ended up shooting at each other instead of at humans. In Brazil, an alien command ship tried to land at the same landing pad that another ship was trying to take off from, causing a massive crash that destroyed both vessels. Captain Kim Tae watched the battle reports coming in from around the world with amazement. The resistance was actually winning. Alien control stations were falling one by one. Their communication networks were crashing. Their troops were retreating in confusion. How is this possible? He asked Dr. Lee Minna over the radio. Because we are not fighting like they expect us to fight, she answered from her hidden laboratory. They understand war between logical species, but we are not fighting a logical war. We are fighting an emotional, creative, completely unpredictable war, and they have no idea how to handle that. In space stations around Earth, human workers, who had been controlled by alien brain-dampening fields, suddenly found their minds clear again thanks to Choi Hyan's jamming devices. They looked around at their alien guards with anger in their eyes for the first time in months. Young Yoon-soo, who had started everything with his 43-second message, was now coordinating cyber attacks from his storage room. He and dozens of other young hackers were turning the aliens' computer systems into playgrounds for human creativity. They filled alien databases with poetry and jokes. They made alien security cameras play music videos. They programmed alien robots to dance instead of work. The aliens had conquered Earth using superior technology and logical military strategy. They had studied war for thousands of years and defeated many other species across the galaxy. But they had never fought humans before. They had never faced an enemy that treated war like an art project, that used creativity as a weapon, that could be completely unpredictable even to themselves. As dawn broke across the Earth, the impossible was becoming reality. A technologically primitive species was defeating a galactic empire not through better weapons or smarter tactics, but through pure, beautiful, unstoppable human chaos. The uprising had begun, and nothing would ever be the same. The final battle happened on the biggest alien ship of all. It was made of crystal and was 2 kilometers long, floating above what was left of Sol like a giant, deadly jewel in the sky. This was the mothership where the alien leaders controlled their entire empire. Captain Kim Tae led a small team of fighters through broken parts of the huge ship. They had gotten inside through holes that human attacks had blown in the crystal walls. The inside of the ship was strange and beautiful, with glowing tunnels and rooms that seemed to grow like living things, instead of being built by machines. While Tae and his fighters moved deeper into the ship, Dr. Lee Mina was working on the most important mission of all. She had connected her computer to the alien network and was uploading something she called a chaos virus. But this was not like computer viruses that destroyed files or crashed systems. This virus was much more dangerous to the aliens. The chaos virus was made of human thoughts translated into computer code. It contained all the messy, contradictory, beautiful confusion of how humans think. Random creativity, mixed emotions, silly jokes, childhood memories, love songs, angry thoughts, dreams, fears, and hopes, all the illogical, unpredictable things that made humans human. The upload is starting, Dr. Mina whispered into her radio. Once this spreads through their network, their shared mind will not be able to handle it. Young Yoon Soo was in the ship's communications center watching the alien computers react to the virus. It's working, he reported excitedly. They're trying to shut down their own network. They can't process random human thoughts. It's like feeding noise to a perfect music player, it just breaks. The effects spread through the entire alien fleet like wildfire. Ships that had been flying in perfect formation suddenly started flying in different directions as their pilots received contradictory commands. Some ships turned left while others turned right. Some tried to land while others tried to fly higher. Weapon systems that should have been firing at human targets instead fired at random things, empty buildings, other alien ships, even empty space. The rigid perfection of the alien collective mind was falling apart under the weight of 7 billion different human ways of thinking. The aliens had shared one unified consciousness for millions of years. They had never experienced the chaos of individual thoughts and emotions. Now they were drowning in it. Captain Tae finally reached the center of the mothership. In a huge crystal chamber, he found himself face to face with the alien leader, a massive crystal creature that was like the brain of their entire species. It spoke to him not with words, but with harmonic frequencies that somehow made sense in his mind. Your species is chaos, the alien leader transmitted. How do you function without unity? How do you make decisions when every individual thinks differently? Tae smiled as he watched the chaos virus continue to spread through the alien network. On Dr. Mina's computer, all around them, the ship's systems were malfunctioning as the alien collective mind struggled to process human randomness. That's exactly how we function, Tae replied. We're not one mind trying to think 7 billion different thoughts. We're 7 billion different minds who choose to work together when it really matters. The alien leader made a sound like crystal breaking. Impossible. Unity requires order. Order requires logic. Your species has no order. You're wrong, Tae said. We have something better than order. We have choice. Every human can think their own thoughts, feel their own feelings, make their own decisions. But when we need to, we can choose to work together. That choice is what makes us strong. Through the crystal walls, they could see the alien fleet starting to retreat. Ships were flying away from Earth in all directions, their pilots confused and unable to coordinate with each other. The collective consciousness that had made them powerful was now making them helpless. We cannot understand your species, the alien leader transmitted as its crystalline form began to dim. You are too chaotic, too unpredictable. We will leave this world and never return. As the mothership began to move away from Earth, Tae made his way back to the escape pods where his team was waiting. Through the ship's windows, He could see other alien ships fleeing in all directions like scared birds. The great invasion was over. Back on Earth, humans began emerging from their hiding places. They came out of tunnels and ruined buildings, looking up at the sky where the alien ships were disappearing among the stars. Cities were destroyed and millions had died, but humanity had survived. In the days that followed, as people began rebuilding their world, they carried with them an important truth. Superior technology could destroy buildings and conquer land, but it could never break the human spirit. The chaos of human thought, the creativity, the emotions, the individual dreams and hopes, these were not weaknesses. They were humanity's greatest strength. From the ashes of the invasion, humanity rose not as conquerors seeking revenge, but as proof that diversity of thought and the freedom to be different were forces that no empire could ever truly defeat. They had won not by becoming like their enemies, but by being completely, beautifully, chaotically human. The war was over, and humanity was free.